question this week: is my coworker racist, or is this just a culture?
We are back for another Ask HR episode. If this is your first time listening, welcome and thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Yuslin Beto-Young. Ask HR is the podcast dedicated to being your trusted resource outside of your company walls. We are an external human resources department. Ask HR is proudly sponsored by YP Personnel Management and Consulting, a strategic, tactical, and practical HR solutions consulting firm. Let's get started.
The statement that came in reads: I work in a place I mostly enjoy, but there's one coworker who's consistently abrasive and mean-ass-spirited. She avoids helping or engaging with other people from different cultures. So it makes me wonder, am I dealing and working with an individual who may be racist? It's not uncommon, but really? Let me tell you, my first gut reaction was, ooh, yes, you may be dealing with a bias or even a racist. But I had to pause and remind myself before I jump into labels. It's important to take a step back and look at the behaviors, the pattern, and the impact. That's how you're going to get more information, some clarity, and also deal with your coworker. I'm just saying. So in this episode, I'm going to walk through the PRO framework, PRO. This is where we look at the point of view for the P of what stood out the most. Your reaction and the reaction of others, the R, how did people respond, or how did you initially respond? And the O, the outcome. What's the takeaway and what's next? And now, let's hear from one of our collaborators, Inspo.
Feeling lost in the noise of social media? Inspo cuts through the clutter, connecting you directly with real insights from real experts and industry leaders. It's a new social network dedicated to knowledge sharing, industry insights, and thought leadership. Get the latest from top minds in your field, or build your own thought leadership portfolio on Inspo. Already trusted by thousands of professionals worldwide, be part of the conversation and download Inspo Experts today on the App Store or visit www.inspo.expert.
So here's the point of view. From my HR lens, the question describes a problematic behavior. Whether it's bias, racist, or just poor mannerism, professionalism, what matters is the pattern that you notice, the different treatment based on other people's identity and background. That's worth paying attention to. In the R, reactions, what are the reactions of others? Now, silence from leadership or your other peers can also feel like they approve and you all are okay with this? Or is it tolerated? But in reality, it may also mean that people are just unsure how to act or just waiting for someone like you to raise the concern. So you're not alone in seeing it, even if no one else has spoken up. Now, here's our O, the outcome. Start with clear example of the situation, the dates, and how others were treated differently, and be specific. Bring this to your people leader in HR without labels, just the facts. And that means it wasn't through somebody else's eyes. It was your direct experience. You observed it. From there, watch leadership respond. Then that will tell you if this is one toxic person or is this the broader culture. Don't be walking around and carrying this alone. Report and observe to see what happens. And then you need to decide if this is the workplace that's worth your commitment.
And before we wrap up our episode, thank you to our sponsor, YP Personnel Management and Consulting.
So here's the takeaway. Toxic behaviors like that should not continue to be normalized. It is 2025. Now, you may in fact be dealing with a racist or biased individual. But remember to take a step back and get all of your information and make sure it's your own direct experience. Lean on your people leader and HR. They have a responsibility to listen, provide support and feedback. You deserve to work in a place that values respect. Special shout out to one of my newest consultants at Reality Check, who's constantly reminding me to use the rule of 3. Look at the point of view, take a step back. What are the reactions and what's next for the outcome? So thank you, Ray. I'm listening. And that wraps up this week's Ask HR question. You can listen to us now on Spotify or your favorite podcast platform. If you have a question for the show, send it to askhr@yppmc.com. And before signing off, don't forget to subscribe, share, engage, and leave us a review. Thanks again for listening.